Wow, hi guys, that's fast. I barely logged on. Hi, Lee and Jackie. Hi, Leslie. How's everybody this mid afternoon in America? Evening, late evening in the UK? Well, hi, Ewan. Ooh, don't like that one. Okay, let's go to here. Hi. Joyce and I were busy yesterday and wound up creating a new song, which we'll share later. I was having problems on my live stream yesterday with a new train I got, and I'm trying to sort it out. I've moved it to a different track to see if it's just having problems, because the place it kept derailing is problematic with non-Miraklin cheapo cars. It's not the first time I've had cars just out of the blue start derailing there, but they're always non-Miraklin without the Miraklin wheels. So I moved it. I was running it in about half an hour, 45 minutes. Just so far, it's not derailing there, which means I'll just probably want to replace that one point or just get Miraklin wheels for these cars. The sound is low. Hmm. Is it any better? We're good. We're good. I'm trying to adjust to Chris saying the sound's low. Just give me a comment. Is the sound low? Loud now. Okay, I cranked up the volume on the mic. Um, so, not sure why it's being difficult, but it is what it is. Okay. Um, so, anyhow, yeah, we were mucking about with that train. Let's see. Let's go to this view, this view, this view. We got the warnings out of the way and the rules. Um, the long run. If we go that one, you can see right here. I moved them in. I was running them in a little while ago. Um, Joyce and I were after last night's live stream uh, because I didn't finish a song, and we were talking about the problems with recording that song, and she said, "Well, you never followed up on my one idea I gave you." And we talked about that, and out of the blue, I all of a sudden got an idea, and I wrote it last night, a different song, not the one we planned. We wrote a different song. Let me get a couple of trains running here. I just changed positions, nothing new from yesterday other than positions. just going to keep my eye on that green guy there, since he was such a pain in the patootie yesterday. Let's see, whom else do we want to get going? Well, we got those two going. Let's get him about 75. 75, I said. And, let's get him going about 60. That should be all 6 that I've got going. Ah, thank you. Hey, Kieran, how are you, sir? Okay. So, adjust my mic here. I really need to get a lapel mic. I need to get one. In fact, I'm doing that a little later this afternoon. Joyce and I are going to go out. I need to buy a lapel mic for my classroom so I can teach at my blackboard on the camera. And I also need a mouse for the new laptops they gave us in our classrooms. So, let me see. Anybody else come in? Kieran? Well, according to all my info, the mic is nice and loud. I'll move it over here where it's a little closer to me, and I'll lean into it a bit better here. Maybe. I'm pretty good today. Yesterday, despite some of the problems in the live stream with my new train, which was, frustrating like it would be for anybody, I just was trying to sort out the problems. I did move it off that track because for some reason that lane 3, my Pico trains do not like lane 3. There is a point there that any of my trains that don't have Märklin wheel sets, they struggle with that one point. Now, I think part of the problem's the point, but my Märklin trains, knock on wood, have had no problems with it, but the Pico and the Brava have had problems at that one point. So I'll probably trade out that point in a while. So I was just about to ask, how's the rail bus coming? I have been completely out of the loop, Kieran, so unless you're posting on Facebook or a video, I have no idea what's been happening with your rail bus. I have barely been able to keep up with my primary channels, the ones I subscribe to, the people that I see a lot, like Chris. If Chris, I'll try to catch his live streams, but I haven't even been able to catch Chris's live streams. But if anybody's posting regular videos, I watch those. The live streams, I don't necessarily try to catch up on unless I have time, because usually live streams are more interactive. It's about what just got said and happened there, and until they put up the live chat replay, it's kind of hard to keep up with stuff. But otherwise, I'm doing good. I mean, I'm still excited to have this new train, and the locomotive is good. It's Pico, P-I-K-O. It's Pico's lowest level. It's their hobby stuff. This is their kid stuff, or, for the guy into trains that doesn't want to spend a lot of money. They call it their hobby level. It's their lowest quality. I don't want to say it's bad, but it's just traditional, and I guess I was lulled into sleep earlier this week when I ran it in with the cars on it, and it was running fine, and then all of a sudden I went live and it started derailing everywhere. Now, part of that was I cranked up the speed a bit, and maybe the additional weight was causing problems, but it just kept derailing on those points, and so I've moved it somewhere else, hoping it'll run smoother here. So you'll see it on the inner loop. It's not going to run the full circuit like it did yesterday, but I still got it out on the inner loop. And so you'll still see him going here. And I moved my red Regio Bond onto the outer loop, so he's getting a chance to run and go over to Delmenhorst, because those trains do go to Delmenhorst. All right, Kieran, that sounds great. Hi, Rachel. I'm great. How are you? Just got a little free time. Went out earlier today. My daughter, my wife noticed that somebody nearby was having a garage sale, a yard sale. I know you guys in the UK do boot sales, as you call them. I don't know if garage sales or yard sales are a known thing there, but in America, people will either have a yard sale where they just put it all out on their yard, or garage, they put it in front of their garage if they have one, and just sell all their old stuff. Sometimes whole neighborhoods will get together and have a neighborhood garage sale. But one family just a few houses down was putting out a lot of baby stuff. So my wife called my daughter with that coming grandson. And hello, Arthur, welcome in. So my wife had my daughter come down to our part of town, and they went to the garage sale, and my wife bought some things for the baby, and my daughter bought some things. We loaned our daughter our other car so she could haul some things. And then Joyce decided she hasn't had a nice long walk in a couple of weeks. Since we went back to work, she hasn't been able to do her 5-mile hikes. So we finished recording our song and putting it into a point where she was content with it. So there's a hint right there that she had to be content with it. She took off, and I thought, what the heck, we'll go live, and if people show up, I can play you the new video when maybe we get a few more people here. Otherwise, I'm going to run some trains and talk to whoever showed up. I really had no idea who would show up or how many. You've missed nothing, Heath. If you never came to the live stream, you'd miss nothing. My live stream is a whole bunch of nothing. Joyce and I recorded a new song last night and this morning and finished it up. And then she just left for a big walk. She'll be gone for an hour or so. She's going to try to do one of her 5 or 6 mile walks. So that'll be at least an hour, hour and a half. She walks fast. It's a very nice day today. Beautiful blue sky. Temperature is relatively cool, about cool for us, about 20 Celsius, 21 Celsius, maybe a little warmer. Maybe 22 Celsius. It's about 70 degrees USA here. So just a beautiful day. So I was out this morning debating whether I wanted to mow the grass today or tomorrow. Tomorrow won. And now Joyce is out on her walk, so I'm sitting here at home, and we got a new song, so I thought, well, what the heck, nobody was online that I followed. I didn't see any shows online, so I thought, what the heck, I'd go online and run some trains, and if people came in to chat, awesome. If they didn't, I was here anyhow. So it is nice to see everybody. Welcome, Crossed Anchors Railroad. I've been joking that I would like to do what like Rachel and others do and go out and train spot or rail fan at our local station, but I'd be there for hours and you might see one train. Now there's a couple of places where I could go stand somewhere outside of town, and I could show freight trains up the wazoo, well, it still would not be nearly as often as, let's say, if you're at Crew or some of the other places you guys go. Trains are unpredictable here, at least. I know there is a schedule for them. It's just in Toledo, it's not predictable. But I noticed Rachel has flown past the 1,000 subscriber mark. I think it was just last week I looked and you were about 900, and all of a sudden 1,100. Wow, that's a growth spurt. That's like your 12-year-old son. He ends the school year wearing size 10 in pants, and he starts the next school year, and oh, those don't fit anymore, and you got to go buy a whole new wardrobe, which is what I just had to do. I had to go out and buy all kinds of new clothes. Had to get work clothes first. I could survive wearing sloppy clothes at home, but at work I had to get new stuff. But I know I talk a lot about it, but with all the weight loss, I have had to, none of my clothes from the last several years fit anymore. All my dress slacks, my dress shirts, my polos that I'll wear to work sometimes, none of that fit. I had to do a run out and buy very cheap. Had to go to an inexpensive clothing store and buy some off-the-rack stuff. Of course, I always buy off-the-rack. Just I went to a Walmart and had to buy a bunch of dress slacks and polos so I could have enough clothes to start the year, because everything was just too baggy. I looked like a teenager trying to wear his dad's clothes. So, yeah, other than I probably could have been using this time and working on my 3D printer so I can actually start using it and building things for my layout. I'm lazy. I sat in my chair. I was messing with the train. We had a new song, and I thought, well, let's see. I started running the train here and seeing how he would handle where I put him today, the train that was acting up yesterday. And, well, I know I'm jinxing myself, but so far, after, how long have I been on? 19 minutes. So for 19 minutes that I've been on air, he has been running without a hitch. So it really is just that one lane, that one crossing area that my non-Maryland, that one point that my non-Maryland trains will occasionally struggle with. And he was really struggling with it. But again, it is Pico's cheapest cars with their cheapest stuff on it. Still looks cool. I'll give Pico that. It's just they're a little bit lower quality. They don't have the weight. They don't have the best wheels on them. I mean, it's where they save money, and they sell them for $20 each or $25 each new. And at least for passenger cars from Germany, you don't expect a lot of quality at $20 for a passenger car. Lit up passenger cars can be, well, I'll try to convert it to pounds, but passenger cars can be anywhere from 40 to 90 pounds, depending on the company and the quality of car, for it to be pre-lit up and it be a quality passenger car. Well, you can be like me, who doesn't even read my message board most of the time and doesn't interact with anybody. No, I interact. But there he goes. I do like it. And I've got a green train. You know, it's kind of funny. It started as a joke. I was talking about, I've got all these color trains, but I don't have green. And I know Chris is probably thinking, purple, you got to get purple. I don't know of a purple German train. And if I have, I'd have to ride on one first before I could get purple. Because the purple train you've got looks cool. I mean, let's face it, my Railjet here, let's go to this view because I don't show this view. This magenta Railjet is my favorite looking locomotive. And when I finally get to ride on it, I'm sure it'll be my favorite to ride on. The ICEs are awesome, and I think the ICEs are gorgeous, but there's just something about the Railjets, both the blue ones from the Czech Republic and the magenta ones. They're just stunning. I just like to see them. And then the whole engine song, that the engine plays a song when it starts up and takes off. It plays scales. Do 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 do, and then it just goes humming along. Let's see, tomorrow at 5. That's okay. I'd probably have to get off around 6 because we tend to eat 6:30ish. Oh wait, I'm cooking tomorrow, so I'll be grilling. What time do I have to start the grill? 5:45. I'd probably have to turn on the grill. So I could be there from 5 to 5:45, Heath. My first official invitation to appear online. Well, not my first official. I appeared online because I forced my way online a couple of times. But I'm too small for the big guys to interview, and I'm too big for the small guys to interview. So that's why I go online, so I can force myself into people's houses. I do like the loco itself, although it's a low quality loco, Rachel, in terms of, for a German locomotive which can run, for a good quality German locomotive which would run lowest end 250 pounds, highest ends 1,000 pounds, or guineas, or whatever you want to call them. Quid, not guineas, quid. Guineas is something else now. It's something slightly bigger than a pound. Just get your money metric. Okay. But it was part of a set. The entire set, which was that locomotive, 2 passenger cars that are not on the table right now, a circuit of track, and a controller. The whole thing was the equivalent of 150 pounds, about 150 pounds, for a train that had a small, low-scale, low-quality decoder in it, which I had changed out. So $179 for a German digital train is a very good price. $179, about 150 pounds, was a good price, but it's definitely Pico's hobby level, which is their lowest level. The locomotive is good, but I had it upgraded. The shop I bought it from, I asked them to put in a better chip in it, and they put in Märklin's highest end chip in it, which by itself cost almost as much as the train set. And he added some functions to it for me. So it doubled the price of the train set. But, so the locomotive I think is great. I like the locomotive. I do like the locomotive. I just feel the cars are very cheap. They look nice. They're just very lightweight, very low-grade plastic, molded well, look nice, just very lightweight. The wheel sets don't like the Märklin C-Track, but that's true of any of the Pico low-end. Pico's middle and high-end stuff has no trouble with Märklin C-Track, but their low-end stuff definitely does. Sometimes they'll derail on straights, and you're just like, why did you derail? But there it is. Hey, welcome, and doing the rest of your platform lights. You're interviewing Heath on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. my time. Yeah, that's it. I'm at work. I'm trying to catch up with the story Leslie's telling, because I like a lot of things Leslie has to tell there. I like Leslie's train spotting videos too. And I like Leslie's layout, so there's a lot to like about Leslie. He's a nice guy. At least you come across that way. You may be an evil sadist off camera, but you come across as a nice guy. And if you are an evil sadist off camera, I might suggest that you join Heath and Sparky in some of their chats, because that turns into S&M right away. I mean, there's flogging and we don't want to get into that. We got to keep it PG-13. So Stuart's just listening in while he does his platform lights. I am still waiting, because a company, well, I think even UK milers would know, there's a company called Viessmann, Viessmann. Viessmann make lights and all kinds of electrical-based things for layouts. They used to make model buildings and stuff too, but now they're strictly electrical, like platform lights and city lights and stuff like that. And they announced in 2019 their product release of 2019. They were making the exact lamppost lights that go on my Delmenhorst platform, the exact ones that go on the bus station and the train station. I have been on hold for almost a year and a half waiting for these lights to come out. They still have not hit the shops in Germany. No notice of when they're going to come out. I've got them reserved so that when they come out, I'm guaranteed to get mine, so I can finally wire up all my lights on my station properly and run it to a decoder. But no, they keep not releasing them. Hi, Paul, how are you? Hey, Ian, good to see you too, sir. I hope things are well or tolerable. Always nice to see you all, especially when you guys can post good stuff on, Facebook, since I see you on Facebook as well. Always good. So I just keep waiting for, Viessmann to make these, produce them. I don't know. Obviously, with a lot of things in China, even before COVID, there were problems in China. Several Chinese factories were having issues. It wasn't being made public a lot, but I think some of you was at Hornby. Hornby was being forced to change factories because some of the factories they had deals with in China were just totally screwing up. There's something going on in the Chinese workforce that isn't quite coming out public enough, but there's been a lot of low quality stuff. I mean, at the risk of being political, most stuff that comes from China is low quality anyhow, but definitely a drop in quality in the plastics being made in China, the electronics being made in China. Definitely a noticeable drop, and I wonder if that's affecting why Viessmann hasn't gotten these light kits out. So, otherwise, I just got to get my 3D printer going, and as soon as I get that printing, I'll actually start making stuff for this layout, and you'll actually see some things going up, I hope. I've got things to build and plans to do them. I just got to get my lazy butt out of the chair. Uh-oh. What happened there? Brilliant, Tony. What did you do? My whole train system just rebooted. I didn't see anything derail. Well, that's a curious issue. going to have to muck about with that. Huh. Well, anyhow, since I got everybody here, I'll have to sort this out. I do have a new video, a new song, if people are willing to check this out. I will quickly play this video. It is the Beatles song, The Two of Us, which we redid. The singing, of course, is horrible. Joyce tries to help it, but some things can't be helped well enough. So let's play that. Huh. I got it working again. And I just shorted it again. Huh. I wonder if it's this bad boy again. Something is shorting my trains out. So let's take this fella off. Come here. Not the smartest way to do this, but... So, yeah, I just got it working again, and it shorted out again. There is a surge or something, which I'm wondering if it's my... This is not a happy moment. I wonder why it's shorting out. Trying to see if something has crossed somewhere. But everybody is on circuit. All right, well, I just took the green guy off because I have a feeling there's something wrong with him, which is, we'll find out. Because I am not seeing any other reason why suddenly my car should be shorting out. I don't know if my friend Steve is watching, but when he does, I'm just waiting for my power system to reboot. I am trying to figure out why it has shorted out like this twice. But anyhow, yeah, that was... But I'm going to try to run it without that guy running because he does have DC wheels, and that shouldn't affect an AC track, but I'm just wondering if something is crossing. Nope. It just burned out again. So I'm going to have to go through my trains and find out who is shorting my track out, how or why. Yes, I played the new song, and yeah, I'm going to have to sort out what's wrong with my system because I just got a buzz as soon as I turned it on. So something is creating a major short because it's shutting my system down right away. And what that could be, I don't know. So, yeah, every time I try to restart this, I get it running that time. It immediately fritzed out. So I'm going to check on a couple of things here. I'll play the song one more time. That way you've got something to watch while I go and see if I can sort something else out.
on our way now.
on our way. Wherever the rails take us next. Okay, so I think I found a slightly derailed contact ski, and I think that was causing the problem. So it wasn't the Roco or the Pico train at all. But boy, all kinds of craziness since I put them on yesterday. So we'll just run 5 trains for now. But yeah, that was a major short because it was putting my system into complete shutdown mode. Usually it goes into safety mode. This one went to complete shutdown mode. And when it goes into shutdown mode, you have to completely reboot everything. It's to protect the machine, so it's a nice feature, but that was awkward. It's scary when that happens. But my Regiobahn, my red Regiobahn, it has its own decoder in it and its own power ski. If you don't know, since I took this guy off, I'll show this to you real fast. There we go. Yeah, for 3 rail, your outers mean nothing. The power comes through this ski right there. And so on the locomotive, you have a ski. And that contacts the 3rd rail in the middle there, if you can see that. Yeah, like that. You can really see those nubs in the middle. So it contacts that. And that's where all the power really runs. That's your primary power. And Meriklin makes some of their control cars, control cabs. They often will have their own ski, their own pickup, as we call it. They'll have their own pickup and their own decoder to run the lights in the passenger cars in front of them. And apparently on the red Regiobahn, one of the wheels was just slightly off. And that was enough to create a short. Because with my 3-rail, you can get 2 kind of shorts. You can get just a safety mode short, which is where something, well, let's go to the 11-lane view and I'll show you. Like a train derails and crosses the power across the your neutrals and your power line. But when it's your AC ski is completely off and contacting multiple things, that's where it creates a major short. So that's what was going on. Nothing to do with the Alex this time. So anyhow, I was busy. What did you guys think of, that was a suggestion by Joyce. Joyce, that's one of Joyce's all-time favorite songs, the Beatles song, Two of Us. So she actually, I won't say nagging, but she has been prompting me to do it. You know, honey, there's got to be a way you can do that. You got to be able to think of something that works, you know, the 2 of us traveling by train and blah, blah, blah. And finally, last night, as I was trying to sort out some other work in that, Joyce suggested again, why don't you do 2 of us? I'm like, honey, I don't work that way. The 2 of us, right? And all of a sudden I got the 2 of us on a platform. Okay, and bam, we wrote the song. Hey, Tim JD. I didn't see you come in. Sorry I missed you. Nice to see you. But yeah, I'm half tempted to try to put the Alex back on, but I don't want to try to do that on stream. But, aha. Lane 3 being difficult today. Lane Evan. But yeah, so Red Regioban right here was the culprit causing the 2 shorts. Thought I was singing Get Back. Jojo was a man who thought he was a loner, but he knew it couldn't last. Jojo left his home in Tucson, Arizona, for some California grass. But yeah, Joyce loves the song Two of Us. It is one of her all-time favorite Beatles songs. And so yeah, she kind of nudged me enough to work on it, and I wound up writing most of the lyrics last night and then changed some of the lyrics this morning. But I had already built the video. I actually made the video and the music because I found a good version of the instrumental. That's what's really hurting us with the other song, is we can't find a good instrumental version. Great track. Ha! Pun! I see that. But yeah, so Joyce is volunteering to sing more. I think she's tired of hearing my voice. In fact, we did 3 takes. On the first take, she's like, "You're slightly louder than me. We need to do another version." Okay. "You're still louder than me. Put the microphone closer to me." So on that version, we had the mic closer to her. The problem is, I have a voice that projects. My voice projects. I never really need a microphone. I could probably do this live feed and just shout and you guys would hear me in the UK. I don't really need a microphone. When I'm in an auditorium, I don't need a microphone. I can just raise my voice and people in the back row can hear me just fine. Yes, get Joyce. The problem is male chauvinism, sorry Rachel if you're still here, male chauvinism, sorry Jackie, says certain songs should be sung by a guy. And despite claims to the contrary, I would rather somebody else sing my songs. I would be very thrilled if somebody else would sing instead of me. But my son's voice isn't any better than mine. My son-in-law's voice is as bad as mine, I think. He says it's really bad. And when we brought it up to him at dinner a couple of weeks ago, he vehemently shook his head no. He was not going to sing. We asked my second daughter, my one daughter Elizabeth, we asked her, and she's like, "Hell no, no, I won't sing for your dad, no." She won't even be in videos, joke videos I do. She won't be in the videos. Like, when we did our 200th, our year on YouTube 200 subscriber celebration 2-part video, she would not play my daughter. The girl playing my daughter was actually her friend. We had my son's girlfriend, my daughter, and my daughter's friend were sitting in the living room. But the girl who speaks up and says, it keeps them out of the living room, that wasn't my daughter. She was playing my daughter there. because most of you probably have never seen that. It's an hour-long video split into 2 parts where we celebrated our 1-year anniversary. There are 10 million jokes in it. I still think it's one of the funniest things we've ever done. But there's a lot of jokes that the family gets. There's a lot of family jokes in there, including the bit that me being into trains the last few years has kept me out of the living room so they can do what they want in the living room. I can come down here and run trains, and they can have the living room to play their video games or do whatever. So it's a running joke. So everybody in my family did it keeps them out of the living room joke. I'll wake the Russians up. Who? Hey, Jeff, if you came in, nice to see you. There he is. So, yeah, we just, and, that goes back to the channel. When I started the channel, it was explaining things to friends and family. Friends that were curious as to what my trains were about and why I was getting into trains. And then even some of my students were logging on and I will not friend my students on social media until they graduate school. I will not friend my students. Some of my colleagues do. A lot of my colleagues will friend the students on Facebook, but I won't. There's stuff I will occasionally put on Facebook I don't think is appropriate for my students to, at least, if they pop on their own, that's their issue. But where I friend them and allow them to come in, I want to have that freedom to be able to say something that's not necessarily polite. So, but a lot of my colleagues will friend students, but I won't friend them. But on YouTube, everybody has a fake ID anyhow. So some of my students do come on, and so I was doing some videos to explain. There we go. Some of these guys had their lights off. To explain the American train system, and then I started explaining the American train system to Americans that don't know about it. So, I mean, if you want to see me on a more serious side and not all the craziness, you go watch the American Outsider series. The thing is, it's going to be all about American trains and American products, which when you're UKOO or American HO, you're not really going to care about. But you can use these American tracks or the tricks form of them with your HO trains and have a lot of the same ease. If you're not really uptight about the track ballast looking perfect, what I was talking about yesterday and a couple of guys were impressed with, where it takes me 5 minutes to put in a motor, a decoder, and have these completely digitally controlled with your Z21 or your ESU, ECOS, or your central station, whatever digital control you have. They make a DC, a 2-rail version of this by a company called Trix. Trix is owned by American. Trix releases all the American stuff, but in DC 2-rail. So, yeah, they, if you like some of the advantages of this track, including how easy it is to make turnouts digital and easily controlled by your digital controller, then you can get this track for 00 stuff. You just want the Trix version of it, the Trix C tracks, Trix Trix. No, Heath, I'm not. And why on earth you would want to even suggest that makes me worry about you. Yeah, basically I'm home alone for a bit, and I was down here messing with my trains. Joyce and I did record a new song, not the one we wanted to post this week, but we wrote it up real fast last night and started working on the video. We finished the recording this morning, and it didn't take long to edit it and put it together, so we wound up showing a new song. Um, I like it. I mean, it's not ha-ha funny. It's cute, I think is the appropriate word for it. It's cute. Um, we still got the song we're going to dedicate to Kieran and any other steam train lover. We just got to find the right music for that. And Richard from Trains in the Attic said he would be, he's going to try to work on something for us. So if he pulls that off, we'll give him credit too. Although, since it's our video, he may not want to be associated with it. But, because yes, we've even toyed with the idea of anybody out there who thinks they can sing, of sending the lyrics and saying, here's the music, here's the lyrics, sing it, and send us the WAV file or the MP3 file back. But there's so much coaching that has to go on. There is a lot of vocal coaching that I do. It's amazing Joyce is willing to keep singing, because even though I can't sing, I still can work on, I need you to pronounce this syllable this way. I need you to pronounce this syllable that way. I need you to slide this word here. A lot of people like this. I do. In some ways, it's cool because you do see the expanse. So I grant you that. But I also, I mean, the village view, it's kind of cool to get a close-up of this side. And we're about to have an ICE-3 coming in over there. And the rail jet. Which one will get to the train station first? There's the ICE-3 coming around this way. The rail jet's coming up. Nope, the rail jet's not going to make it fast enough. There's the rail jet. Up, the ICE-3 is already in the station. The rail jet's just now arriving. Whoops. Nobody told you to do that. For some reason I went to speed it up and I accidentally hit the change direction. Trying to get my high-speed trains going a little faster. I tell my wife what to do. At times, I coach. Look, we're both teachers, and we're both very respectful people. We can handle being coached by each other. Joyce was an all-city basketball player, and despite my height, I never really learned how to shoot a basketball. One of the first things she did when we started dating was she taught me how to shoot a basketball correctly. If I can suck up my pride and have her teach me how to shoot a basketball correctly, she also can suck up her pride and have me tell her how to do things. You got it. I mean, it's how you tell somebody to do something. It's not that you tell them what to do. It's how you tell them. But you know, at the risk of sounding all sappy or whatever, or making people sick, we're best friends. We're best friends. There is nobody in the world I'd rather hang out with than Joyce. If it's a night out with the guys or a night in with Joyce, I'm going with a night in with Joyce. Hello, Wardle Road. How are you, sir? Andrew, I had Alex running, and he seemed to be running fine, but I had two shorts, and I thought it was Alex causing the problem, but actually it was my little Regio bond. I'm debating putting Alex back on here. Which way do I want him running? All right, well, this is empty. I'll put Alex back on with his cars and see if the problems stay away. There you are. But I took him off thinking he was the cause of the shorts, and he wasn't. It was my Regiobahn, and I just thought, man, I'll leave him off. But yeah, he was running fine on this loop. I just could not figure why things were shorting out. And I noticed that the pickup ski on my Regiobahn passenger car was not connecting to the rail properly. So, at the risk of mitigating a disaster, let's start everybody back up. And oh wait, yeah, I did do something stupid there, didn't I? Yep. Nothing too bad. I just put them on the wrong lane. That would have been brilliant. I forgot I moved them to the inside here. Somebody doesn't have their thinking cap on today. Or at least once I go online, I'm not thinking. We want him right next to this guy. Slight interruption as the hands of God mess with these people's lives. Is that you back, Joyce? Nope. Must be AJ up. Or it's 3 o'clock, it's Liz home. Okay, I'll sort out who's here. Maybe it's somebody robbing the place. Just a slight delay. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, there we go. Okay. So everybody's on the right tracks. Everybody's going the directions I want them to go. So let's see if things stay suited for a while. But, you know, sounding preachy, I guess. But, oh, crap. How did that happen again, kids? Oh, you are such a juvenile delinquent. For goodness sake, this Alex is the most annoying train I have ever seen. Put him on, and what happens? He pops a... All right, is everything... I'm feeling like this Alex train is a curse. He lost a car, and I didn't catch that. Did anybody see it? Nope. Okay, Heath had to leave. Bye, Heath. And now somebody is off again. Oh, this Roco or Pico car is just a POS. Wow. Never in my life have I seen... I have had more derailments with this set of Alex cars than 5 years of running trains. It's ridiculous. And again, I was running it for about an hour today before I went online, and it was running fine. That's crazy. So, looks like I definitely am going to order some Märklin wheels, and then maybe put some weight in those cars. They're gorgeous looking cars for being cheap. They're gorgeous looking. They're exactly what my wife and I rode. But man, derail, 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 derail. I think if you look at the car funny, it derails. But yeah, just to go back to talking about that, there's two ways you can look at it. Talking about Joyce and me. You know, the thing is, Joyce and I never dated anybody else. Joyce was my first girlfriend. I was her first boyfriend. We never dated anybody else. We had no intention of dating anybody when we met. It was a weird, bizarre situation where we met. And it was... we got put together in a weird situation, and I don't know, maybe we're just two needy people, because it was like, wow, you didn't run away from me. You didn't run away from me. All right, we're going to stay together. And we've had our big disagreements at times, but it's you don't there are certain things you don't say to each other. There are certain things you avoid doing with each other. Your Revolution Pendos, and I've seen there just seems to be trains. And like I said, these Pico cars are by far the cheapest cars I've had. My IC1 cars with Märklin are probably the next cheapest, but they're Märklin. And even Märklin's cheap stuff is better built than Pico's, definitely better than Pico's cheap stuff. Märklin's cheap stuff might be made better than Pico's middle level stuff. But Märklin does not officially have lower level, middle level, higher level. Märklin, basically it either has all the bells and whistles, the lights, the interior lighting, and the right pickups for interior lighting, or it doesn't have it. There really isn't where Märklin says, okay, here's our cheap stuff and here's our better stuff. The only time you might see that is Märklin has a line of starter kits that say aimed for 8 to 14-year-olds, which they call Märklin Startup. There you go, Märklin Startup. But even collectors, serious collectors, will buy those, because sometimes that's the only place you're going to find those cars for Märklin. So they'll buy one of those startup sets, which are aimed for 8 to 14-year-olds, but they'll buy them because they want those cars, and you don't hear complaints. Pico specifically has hobby, expert, and collector level. Collector's their highest. You would think expert would be highest, but collector's their highest level. And to me, they do a nice job of making their hobby stuff look good, but some of it, in terms of the motors and the locomotives, can be real crap. They either don't put a chip in it, they don't put a decoder in it, or the decoder is a piece of crap, and that's coming from a Pico dealer. And that's kind of the case with this Alex locomotive. Now, the locomotive itself it's metal. The casing and the body's metal. It's got a lot of weight to it. But the decoder in it was cheap. It didn't have a lighting system in it. So the guy I bought it from, I paid him basically double the price of the kit, and he put in a nice decoder, a nice light set, the Märklin wheel set on the train, but I didn't buy these cars from him. These cars came from a shop in Germany, and again, the only reason I bought them is because Märklin doesn't make this train. Märklin does not make this locomotive. It doesn't make those cars. If it did, I would have bought them instead. But I'll get it sorted out. It really is changing out the wheel sets, taking off these crappy Pico wheels and putting in the Märklin, which will handle the C-track better. But to me, there's clearly a difference in quality. Ooh. Rachel got a new class 90. Nice. Is that for 00, Rachel, or is that N scale? Is that on the N scale layout or for 00? But again, all of a sudden, after that one little derailment, and maybe I didn't put the wheel quite on right when I set them up here, but I thought I did. But all of a sudden, the Alex is running relatively smooth as he was running on this lap earlier today. Lap, loop, what would you guys call it? The circuit that he's on right now. I call it lane 4 officially. It's lane 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, nice. Yeah, Märklin is a little late to the party, but last year Märklin released 4 really gorgeous Class 66 locomotives, all in European liveries for European companies. There's one I kind of like, but again, it's a freighter. It's a freight puller. It doesn't pull passenger cars, and I've got my one freight train. Although Joyce every now and then says, you can have a second freight train if you want to. Like, no, I got one. I'm just not a freight train guy. I know a lot of you guys are freight train guys. I'm a passenger train guy. It's what got me into trains, riding on passenger trains. So, Alex is living up to his name. It's not a popular train in reality in Germany. It is not a popular train at all. My glasses are messing with me. Hey, David, how are you? But yeah, this new guy, the green guy, the Alex here. Let's go. Well, he just left the 11-lane view. I'll let him come around again, and some of you maybe see him for the first time. Alex is a private local transportation company that was originally owned by Arriva. You guys in the UK know Arriva. Alex broke away. Arriva sold Alex about 3 years ago. So when we rode an Alex train in 2017, the car still had Arriva printed on them. Now, when we rode it in 2019, they don't have Arriva. So one thing I might do is take these and paint out the Arriva on them. But I'm just not that particular persnickety, as I like to say. But yeah, they're basically their cars, their passenger wagons. They are old Deutsche Bahn, the German state train company. They're old Deutsche Bahn cars, so you would call them, in Germany you'd call it Era 5. Era 5 is the late 1980s to about 2005. Um, but yeah, they're late 80s, early 90s passenger cars that Deutsche Bahn replaced when they upgraded to the newer cars, especially the double-deckers that you see here, although those had been around, but they're going more and more to double-deckers and some of the Lindt-class diesels and all that jazz. And they just bought them up and kind of slapped some paint on them and replaced some of the torn-up seats, and that's about all they did. You know, there are things that were probably broken on them 15 years ago that are still broken. They just made them just passable enough for the government regulations, and then they're kind of old and rickety. They're not the most comfortable to ride in, but as the joke started a couple of months ago, I needed a green train, and voila, he's green. But anyhow, going back to the 66. So anyhow, Märklin released 4 last year. They've got 3 new liveries this year. Märklin is releasing at least 3 new liveries just in their fall. Märklin this week just announced their fall-winter add-ons to their official line. So there were 3 Class 66s in them. None that really sparked me and went, ooh, cool looking. Because there's one from a company based in Cologne, Germany, that actually looked kind of cool, that if I were to buy a Class 66, I would buy that one. Because it's a German private transport, freight transport, I'm sorry, it's a private freight. But the livery on the locomotive is really cool. But apparently 66s are just becoming popular. No, Arriva is not owned by DB that I'm aware of. No. Arriva has actually, DB is DB. DB, as far as I know, in the United States, or in Germany, not the United States, in Germany, let's say. There's DB and then there's DB Schenker, although DB Schenker and Deutsche Bahn, have kind of separated, or are in the process of separating. And DB Schenker was Deutsche Bahn's overseas market, and they owned other brands. But within Germany, Deutsche Bahn is Deutsche Bahn. They don't own any other names. If it doesn't say Deutsche Bahn, if it has some other name like Alex or Mittelrheinbahn or something like that, then it's a private company. In Germany, Deutsche Bahn is Deutsche Bahn. And the high speeds will be white and red, and the regionals will be red. It's really easy to tell. If it's not a red train or a white train, it's not Deutsche Bahn in Germany. The freight and passenger locomotives are all red unless they run the high-speed trains, then they're white with the red stripe. HGK, that's exactly right. Thank you, Andrew. Nice job. Hey, welcome back, Common Road Junction. So again, I may be misinformed, but I know within Germany, Deutsche Bahn has nothing to do with Arriva, and Arriva has left Germany. Arriva sold all their holdings in Germany. So Alex is owned by somebody else now. I would have to Google. I could, but I'm too lazy. Have to Google who owns Alex now, or if Alex is just independent. But yeah, it's no longer owned by Arriva. Or at least that's what we were told last summer when we were there. But yeah, Joyce doesn't like the Alex trains. They're just so, I mean, they're local, but like I said, they're old, they're beat up. The diesels are really smelly. And in Germany, when you have a powered locomotive like this, first class is right behind the locomotive. So when this guy comes around again, you have the locomotive. First class is half of the first car right behind it. And we had upgraded first class. They said, hey, for $10 you can upgrade to first class. So we said, cool, let's go to first class. And the diesel fumes were awful. I don't know why you'd want to smell out your first class like that, but Alex did. The diesel fumes were pretty bad. with these double-decker Regio bonds, like the metronome here coming in, first class is always behind the control. First class is the control car and sometimes the car behind it, depending on how big it is. So like this metronome going around, that last car is first class. It's as far away from the locomotive as possible. But on the older trains, like this Alex guy coming in, first class is always the car right behind the locomotive. My IC1's the same way. First class is right behind. Now, if it's an electric locomotive, not a big deal. But diesel, whew, that Alex was bad. I like the cross countries. Oh, Jeff, you took that down. I do like that. Oh, you posted it back up. Oh, yeah. I have been to Munich 5 times. And we always come into the main station from the northern route. The route you're talking about comes more from the northwest. So we have never actually passed, we don't get to pass the Olympic Stadium area. Whenever we've gone to Munich, we don't come in from that route. We always come in from a different route, and we don't get back. We do go by Starnberger See, which is this big, gorgeous lake. But Alex does run, it's like centered on Munich, and it runs Munich to Regensburg, Lindau, and then this city called Horn, H-O-R-N, Horn, right on the Czech border. So it's a private company, but it gave me an excuse, by riding on it, it gave me an excuse to have a green train. Because that's the rule outside of the passenger, or outside the freight train. I had to ride on the train to have one. The problem is, the more we go to Germany, the more types of trains I ride on. And I'm all out of, I'm out of parking. When my IC4 comes, I mean, fortunately, I've always got 5 trains, but technically, if I wanted to park everybody to clean the track, I don't have enough space to park everybody now. I don't have any room. My little fiddle yard that you guys never see. The closest, well, I'll do this. If you guys want to see the fiddle yard, because I've been on this camera for a while. Hang on. I don't know, will the mic follow me far? Well, not too far. Oops. Way over there, I'll lift this up, is a parking yard where I keep my long trains. You guys never see that on any camera. There we go, put him back. Well, that might have explained part of the problem too, that fell. Oh my God, too many wires, too much tech in a narrow space. I really want everything to go Bluetooth so there's no wires anymore. Yeah, let's put this here. All right, let's go back to the village view. Yeah. Nope, nobody's coming in, so we'll skip that for now. Long run. Can I see more trains as a bad thing? In a way, yes. I know everybody's different, so I don't want anybody to think I'm judging. I don't judge. Because it's what makes you happy. But for me, I already have, in some way, I have too many trains because I can't run them all. And some of them sit here for a long time before I run them again, like my freight train. Will I feel guilty and maybe run it next week or the following week and break it out because I'm not a big freight train guy? I've got an IC1 over there. I've got an IC2 that I rarely run right now. I really need to get them out, but when I get my IC4, I'm going to have an all ICE show going. But I've got an ICE1 that needs repaired. Not repaired. It needs some tender loving care. And I want to upgrade it, get a modern decoder in it, and get some new shoes. We call them shoes, the skis. And put those on it and just really clean it up because it's an old model. It's a 30-year-old model. It's an old train. It's probably the oldest train I own. It's at least 30 years. Herb would have to tell me how old it is. Hi, Mark. Welcome in. But so yeah, for me, I could have too many. And also, as we all know, they can be expensive, and German trains are. With the UK, you can maybe find some cheap lines, but with 3-rail, Märklin, there's no such thing as cheap. There's no such thing as inexpensive. There's just not as expensive as. And so, for example, my next train is going to cost me $600 for the basic 5-car set. But then to get the full thing, it's another $330. So it's going to cost me over $900 to get my ICE4 when it all comes in. That's how many trains for some of you guys? That's $900. And I'm not rich. It's not like I can drop that. I'm saving up. That's the thing with this this Alex train I bought. That was some of my ICE4 money. I am very much on a budget. I have to say, okay, here's what's coming out this year, and this is what I want. And, you know, again, I spent $400 on a 3D printer. That was also some of my train money. And I turned around and bought, I bought the Alex train, and I bought this, well, you can't see it right now. I bought, if you look at the little guy that comes around here, oh, actually, you can see him. But if you look at my little Lint Diesel DMU here, my DMU here, there's a red one just on the other side of the station. He's going right past it right now. I bought that this year, and that wasn't planned, and that was about $270. So all of that was out of my train and other fun money budget. But since our trip to Germany got canceled, I had some money set aside for that. So I've been using that. I used that money as well. The money I set aside for some of the stuff I wanted to buy in Germany. I bought a couple of trains, but right now everything's for that ICE4. So yeah, I personally think I could have too many trains when I don't have enough room to park them. Because some of these trains, you're supposed to put them on the track and leave them on track, have a fiddle yard, whatever. Like my ICE3 and my Railjet, you're not supposed to take those apart. They are supposed to stay together. Cleaning them is going to be interesting. Speaking of cleaning, I'm going to buy a track cleaning attachment that I'm going to put over here. It's going to be added on here, and then I'll have a pull-out section, and my trains will actually pull out, go through the track cleaning section, and then pull back into the main line. So I'm going to be putting switches there. This is why I've never ballasted more than I have, because I knew I would be adding stuff, and I didn't want to have to tear through ballasting and everything else. Yeah, Tim, I mean, I'm not poor. I grew up poor, but I'm not poor now. I'm not rich. I'm comfortable. I'm certainly not where I would have liked to have been in life, but we have a nice house. We're in a nice neighborhood. It's a small house. It's the second smallest house in our neighborhood. It's a good neighborhood. Clean, relatively safe neighborhood. Crappy roads, but all roads in America are crappy. Yeah, I don't have money to throw at trains. And again, I don't want to violate where we're at here, I don't want to violate Rule 2 here, or Rule 3, I'm sorry, Rule 3. We all know Rule 1. Rule 2 is don't tell people what to do, because that's related to Rule 1. It's their layout, let them do what they want. But Rule 3, don't call out, criticize, mock, or make fun of somebody else's channel. I would love to know where Sam, from Sam's Trains, how many locos does he have? 500? Something like that? You know, and it's not like he's spending $50 or 50 pounds a loco. He's, you know, 90 here, 150 there. This was 200. That's a lot of money in locos. He's got to have some money somewhere. Your ex-wife is rich. Hey, David, thanks. Again, this was not my dream configuration or Actually, in a way, it kind of was, but it's very different from what I originally envisioned. Originally, my Dumb and Horse station was going to be right here, so I could put the true P-word, prototypical platforms right here. I'd have them all right here, the station here, and then maybe build the town over here. That wasn't... It didn't work for me in that regard because I wanted to be able to sit in the middle, and I've got a TV right here in front of me. I got a TV right there, so this is my man cave, this is my control center. So I wanted to be in the middle. Now, if I just built the station here and nothing else, that would have worked. But the other problem is, I did want my trains to go somewhere else, in other words, another station. So it made more sense to have one station way over here. Let's go to the village view. So to have that station way over on that side, and then another station over here. Now this building, well, you guys don't see the cursor. That station right there, that is just a temporary model that's there. Eventually I will be building a very deluxe station here that will look like the Bremen and Hanover train station. So this will be could be Bremen or Hanover, which is cool because trains from Dumb and Horse run to Bremen. So I'd have Dumb and Horse on one side, Bremen on the other. So that was the plan. But originally this was going to have two levels. I was going to have an upper level and lower level. And we were thinking of putting a helix in. Really didn't have room for the helix. My wife, because we took out some, when I built this, we took out some closet areas and some storage shelving here. And we lost all that. So my wife really wanted storage that underneath the table. So the second level idea disappeared. But yeah, in the end, as somebody said there, I think Jeff said, it's what makes me happy. I'm happy with it. I would like it to be further done, but that's on me because I'm lazy. There are some things that are problematic, as you guys have heard me whine about. I do have severe problems in my joints, in my hands. I can't work on little things for more than 10, 15 minutes anymore before my hands start shaking all over and there's no bracing or anything that works. It's starting to happen when I use power tools. And the day I can't use my bigger power tools like my table saws, because I've got a crib to build. My daughter would like me to build a crib for the new baby. So I've got a crib to build. And I need to work on that because 5 years from now, I might not be able to do projects like that anymore because the nerve damage I have for whatever reason is kind of genetic. My dad had it too. Well, yeah, he makes a lot of YouTube money, that's for sure. Although I wondered how he's going to survive the American COPPA changes because it easily could be called that his channel aimed for kids and he loses monetization. I know he has lost a lot of monetization on his channel. But, I mean, I think his parents also have some money, and I know he has another job. I don't think it's just YouTube money. I mean, he does have 80,000 subscribers. How much money would 80,000 subscribers bring in? I don't know. Why don't you guys give me 80,000 subscribers, and I'll give you the answer to that question. Although, then again, Ali was here earlier. Wardle Road will be at 80,000 in another year or two at the rate he's growing. Then again, Rachel will be at 80,000 at the rate she's growing right now. And that's not being disrespectful. That's just being, man, she's gained 200 subscribers in the last 2 weeks. Joyce, my wife Joyce had asked me how many, we were watching one of her live streams just after I got home from work, and Joyce asked me, how many subscribers does Rachel have? And I looked and it was like 894, and this was like a week, 2 weeks ago. And I just looked at it yesterday and it was 1,100 and something. So it's like, wow, Rachel's growing big. I mean, and obviously, deservedly so. She does lots of cool things. She's got a gorgeous N-scale layout. What she's doing with the 00 is awesome. And then her live feeds have been great. Guys, I'm not a train spotter and I'm not into freight trains, but if I'm around and she's doing her live feed and nobody else is doing a live feed, I'm watching her live feed. You know, I try to watch everybody I can, and I'm not subscribed to that many. No, you can. I know, for example, that if everybody remembers Will, IC82, he quit his job once he got over 40,000 subscribers, and he got up into the mid 70s. There was a time Will had more subscribers than Sam, but Sam is now over 80,000. Everard Junction is now at 65,000 or close to it. So they're closing in, but there was a time it was Will and Sam and everybody else. Will, Sam, and everybody else. Now it's Will, Sam, Everard Junction. Charlie at Chadwick is growing pretty big. He's nearing 40,000. So just in the 2 to 3 years I've been watching UK sites, you had Will and Sam way up here and everybody else starting. And now Everard Junction's way up there at 65,000. And those are the only ones I know, but I've looked for the big ones. Let's see. I got to make sure I'm paying attention to you people. Yeah, Paul was mentioning secondhand. I have bought secondhand. My very first ICE3 was secondhand. My ICE1 is secondhand. I traded for that one. No, he was new. Who else is secondhand? Maybe that's all I got that's secondhand now. I had a couple others, but I've sold them or traded them off. Everybody else is new. And since I'm not buying a lot of locos, I will save up and I will buy new when I can. I prefer to buy new because when you buy used, you don't know what the owner has hidden from you. But if you know how to fix trains, which I'm not at that level, if you know how to fix the locos, then buying used, and if something goes wrong, you know how to fix it. Like Sam, man. Sam's like, okay, I know what happened here. I've got a whole box full of these 5-pin motors. I'll just swap it out, do this, change that, boom, and it's in, and I just stare there and go, damn, that was impressive. Well, hi, Grandpa Rails. So, but yeah, it's, you do what works for you. And in 5 years, I've got, what am I up to now? I might be up to 13 trains, locomotives. I've got one locomotive that sits over here. No, you guys can't see it. That you've never seen me run it. I've got 2 trains you've never seen me run. You haven't seen me run my ICE1 because it needs some work. And I've got a little locomotive over here. It's a Class 146, which is a passenger hauler. It used to haul my Regiobahn, the little red guy. Let's go to Village View. Or even station. This red guy there. I bought the new locomotive because Deutsche Bahn upgraded. The 146s have been upgraded to this new 147 locomotive that's pulling my red Regiobahn there. So my 146, he tends to haul my cleaning cars. When I put my cleaning cars on the track, that's his job. He hauls my cleaning cars. So that's the only time he runs. So poor little guy, I ran my cleaning cars recently, but yeah, that guy hasn't run a train in a year and a half, 2 years. £162 to 20. Well, 2,600 pounds buys a lot of trains, doesn't it? That's what, about 3,200 American dollars, 3,400 American dollars. Yeah, that would buy a lot of trains. That would buy me my next 2 years worth of trains, 3 years worth of trains, at least at the plan now. Although, to be honest, I don't have a new train planned. After the ICE4, which is sometime October to December, there isn't a train on the horizon. I do not have it. The ICE4 is right now the last train I'm currently planning to buy. I can't even think of a train I want. There are some trains I would like. There are some private company trains, but nobody makes them. If somebody makes them, I'll be buying them. Yes, it is a Deutsche Bahn class 146.2. Now, coming around here, I'll give you a hint. This locomotive, the yellow locomotive right here, my metronome locomotive, you'll see him coming on the corner here, this guy. He is also a class 146.2, so it looks identical, just red. So not identical, but same exact body. That's a class 146.2. And then, it's so hard to see, but in the background here, I don't know if you can see, there's a white locomotive way in the background back there. There's a little white locomotive, the little diesel guy just went past them. That's a 146.5. The bodies look identical, the insides have differences. Different types of motors and braking systems, because the 146.2s, are for regional and therefore can't go a certain speed, but the 146.5s are high speed. And so they can go up to like 200 kilometers an hour, and so they had to redo the suspension system and the brake system. See, I have learned a little bit about trains, at least German trains. But now they've just gone to this new Bombardier 147 class. Hey, Richard is here. Richard, I don't know how long ago you came in, but thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. Actually, the Vectron in Germany is a class 193. That's the one that's blowing everybody up, because all of a sudden everybody's using Vectron 193s. I'm seeing them more in the freight world right now, which would make sense because in Germany, any number above 50 is freight. In German rail, all the trains have a 3-digit number. 0 tells you it's steam, 1 tells you it's electric, and 2 tells you it's diesel. So a 085 is a steam, a 185 is an electric, and a 285 is a diesel. And then the last two numbers out of the three, below 50 and below is passenger service, and above 50 is freight service. So a 147 is electric passenger, a 185 is electric freight. But yeah, these Siemens class 193s are showing up all over, and again, Märklin has made tons of models. I think they look awesome. I know the Czech Republic is using some of them as passenger haulers. I think in Switzerland, they might be being used as passenger haulers. And I don't know if they're really in Switzerland that much yet. But I know they're being used for freight in Germany quite a bit all of a sudden. And they're cool looking. I can be tempted to buy one. But again, I'm also tempted to buy a Class 66 from the HK company. Hamburg-Köln, I think is what the HK stands for. So I'm very tempted. Behind the trees. Okay. Yeah, right here. These tracks, these 5 tracks, go to the parking area by the large train station. So yeah, those lead to parking areas. So I couldn't run trains on those. I mean, I could if I rebuilt the system and just had all these little concentric loops without connecting them. But here, let me show you this, okay? Since you asked, I will try to show you this. Try to get the mic to follow a bit. Otherwise, I'll have to shout. I don't know how well you'll hear me, but, so let me show you. I have my 5 circular lanes right here, 5 lanes. You can see this dude's coming in on lane 2. But you'll notice that lanes 4 and 5 are connected here. 4 and 5 are connected here. And then there's 2 offshoots from lane 5. Those go into this parking area. which leads to the layout over here, this second station over here, which has a lot of parking, if you can see that. So you can kind of see the parking here. So those lanes cannot have trains riding on them because they lead to parking lanes on the station. I don't know how well you heard that. So, yeah, lanes 4 and 5 complete a circuit. And then originally, the lane that this little dude runs on that you see behind the trees, that little dude, that was originally just a parking lane. And then I looked at it and said, you know, I could really loop this up. And what? I could run another train? Okay. So I looped it up, and he gets to run a little circle there. But all the others go to where I park the trains that aren't running on the layout. Well, half the trains that aren't running on the layout, because there's that other section way over. So, oh, okay. I have two things going on here. The little white strip here, the little white strip that runs through here, that is electrical tape, white electrical tape, because I have wires running under here. Now, why do I have wires running under there and not under my table? Because my, well, I don't know how well you'll see them there. Let me see if you can see the lights turn on. There you go. Yeah, you can see the lights turn on. I have temporarily lit those. Since those buildings will not be here when I actually build the side of the table, I did not want to do a lot of effort wiring the lighting system in there. So all I did was put some, what you guys would call mini fairy lights in the UK. We just call them mini LEDs or fairy lights. But in the UK, fairy lights are any of the small LED Christmas lights. These are the really micro ones. And so I just ran them, and I run them to a battery. Well, if I show it this way, I run them to a little battery pack here, and you can see the soldering job covered with tape. And I just control them with a battery. So I turn them off and on with this little pack, on and off, on and off. And because this is not permanent, you want to come and say hi? Okay, you're going to come back. Cool. Joyce is going to come down. So yeah, if you look, you can see there's wires right here. The wires run, oh, can I reach? There you go. You can see the wires. They come all the way through, and then where they go under the track, just to keep the track from cutting into them when the trains go over, I protected them with tape. This stuff here is because I had to move this table a year ago, and for some reason, something separated. And part of the thing dropped like 1/8 of an inch, and so I've got a little foam there to level it out. These tables were perfectly flush, and we had to have a plumber come in and get under. There's a plumbing access back here, back there under the table, and we had to get a plumber back there, so we had to pull the table out. And wow, something, and my building is too good for that to have happened. Maybe the foam board buckled or something, but all of a sudden I got a little bulge there, so I cut a line in it and leveled it off. So that's all the... Oh yeah, Andrew, I love the micro LEDs. I'm really, really thrilled. Oh yeah, let me go back. Ewan, yes, I have seen Class 66s all over Germany. Ewan asked about the straps there. So Andrew, yeah, I love them. Everything that is lit up except my station, my Delmenhorst station, which I'd have to turn the lights out, but half the cars I'm running don't have lights on right now, so you wouldn't see much. But yeah, those are all, they're lit up. The town isn't lit up because 90% of that town is coming out when I start building the actual Delmenhorst. So I haven't bothered lighting that stuff up, but I got bored one day, and instead of working on stuff I should work on, I said, golly, I wonder if I took these micro LED lights that I used to light up my bus station, and I had some spare footage left, maybe I could just shove them in these places. So all of a sudden, yeah, let's go over here. So yeah, all of a sudden these guys light up. It took me 45 minutes to an hour maybe to put the lights in, another hour to run the lines, and these battery packs I get for like 50 cents. They already come pre-wired, so I just throw 3 AA batteries in, and I've got instant lighting on that part of the layout. Totally useless, but hey, it's fun. You know, it looks, for me, it looks cool. Okay, Grandpa Rails is taking off. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, to be honest, if you want to light up a village cheaply, these fairy lights do a great job. You can buy them by 100 foot. Get the 5 volt ones. These really micros, 5 volt. I can get usually 25 feet for $6 American. So what's that, about 4.5 pounds? I get about 25 feet of it. They're already battery operated. So I just cut them, splice them together where I'm going under a building, so I don't have, but for goodness sakes, I could light up this whole town for under 50 bucks. That whole town behind me, if I wanted to light it up, under 50 bucks, I just use those Christmas lights and a couple of the battery packs that come with them. And, you know, I haven't had anybody, even as much as I'll badmouth a lot of my layout, when people see my platforms lit up, I don't know if you see it better this way, but when people see my platforms lit up, I don't people saying, oh, that light doesn't look quite right. I don't get rivet counters going at me. Then again, rivet counters don't come to my channel. Not even the LED strip. Let me show you. Hang on, I've got a little bit left. Is this the best one I got? This might be the best I have. Okay, well, let's see if I can show this up real quick. I don't know how well you can see this. Okay, these go on, we've got craft shops that sell these year round, but they start showing up big time around Christmas time. And we have $6, $7, you get this, and it comes on a roll of anywhere from 15 to 25 feet for $6, 15 to 25 feet. And it comes with a battery pack, and you run these and then you turn them on and off with the battery pack. They're battery operated, but these things are bright. They'll last for years and years and years. I'll get to you in a second. Special guest star has appeared. But I've got them on, it's what I use to light up my Delmenhorst station, the bus station, and then these 2 little stations over on the other side of my layout here. So, well, let me show it again just so you see. But that's all it is. And you can cut them anywhere. There's a light here, a light here. You cut them anywhere. You just have to sand off. It takes a little bit of work. You just have to sand off the protective coating, and then you can solder them onto a piece of wiring to run under your table to the next building or however you want to join them. But again, you can run 16, 20 feet with 1 battery set. And so they're 4 volt, so 3 AA batteries covers it. And you can run a lot of footage, So not even LED strips, just this stuff. I don't know, do I have a battery pack? Probably not. I got that. Oh well. But yeah, so that's what I use. Ladies and gentlemen, let me slide over and hopefully not damage anything. Yeah, let's just get that out of the way. A woman on her cell phone. Welcome. Woman on the cell phone. Hey, Grants, how you doing? for AJ?
Yeah, it's on River Road.
On River Road. Wow, okay. Well, he could afford it. The kid's rich.
Well, I sent it to him, so I legally got up there.
All right, Joyce is here.
Hi.
Yeah, you can see the comments there. And unlike your singing, project your voice into the mic.
I have to use my teaching voice.
Better.
Oh, it's all right. You stay put. I need to adjust me.
You need to adjust you, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can hear the
Hope you enjoyed your walk, she says.
Yes. Very nice to get back out. Beautiful, beautiful day.
All right. I know some of you are probably already sick of it, but we do have a few more people here. I'm going to play it. I played it mostly to distract you guys while I tried to sort out the problem. I had two major shorts.
Wow.
Yeah, shut the whole thing down, and I had to unplug this to completely reboot it. I thought it was Pico, but the Regiobahn, the control car, the Steuerwagen control cap.
Uh-oh. Did we just lose Anthony?
Uh-oh. Well, we should be back in a second. But yes, you did lose us.
Yikes.
We're still having boot problems. Okay, anyhow, what I'd like to do...
Bye, Leslie.
Bye, Leslie. Even Joyce said bye.
Hi, everybody. I don't want to sort through something.
What's that?
We just didn't want to sort through the hello. It's just hi.
I know. Joyce doesn't like to address everybody. She just likes to do one hello.
I'm going to miss somebody.
She's going to miss somebody and then feel guilty. That's her excuse. And she's sticking to it. Yeah, we did have a new song. Is there anybody who has not seen it who would like to see it? Or anybody who wants to see it again? As always, Leslie, wonderful of you to stop by. What the heck? I'm just going to play it again. I'll stop the trains. Now the mic is on. I'm stopping the trains, so don't panic yet. And just for the last time today, I'm hoping you guys, this is not funny, haha. I played it twice. I played it twice. The problem is we can't hear it, so we couldn't sing along with it from here anyhow. You'd have to watch it.
The two of us on a platform, wait for our train to come by. You and me finding some seats, traveling cheap on our way by train. We're on our way now. We're on our way now. We're on our way. The two of us look out windows, see meadows racing by. You and me snacking breakfast, watch the hills pass on our way by train. We're on our way now. We're on our way now. We're on our way.
Yeah, it's acting up again.
You and I have things to see, waiting at a stop that lies on down the rail. The two of us watching rain clouds laugh out too loud as we.
All right, I'm going to cut that off. I'm watching it, and it's obviously glitching. I don't know. It's got to be something with our OBS because we're now hardwired into our internet, so we shouldn't be having problems. But it's definitely, as it's playing on the replay, we're seeing it glitching. Sorry about that. It played well the first two times, I believe, but yeah, that time it definitely... I'll post it as a separate video later if you missed it. Terribly sorry about that. We continue to have technical problems here. Let's get the trains going again.
Jackie likes my Adam and Ant t-shirt.
Says it was okay here. Oh yeah, you got your Adam and the Ant shirt on. Yes. Can't read the inside stuff. PG show. I got my Beatles shirt. We're in black and black. But yeah, I wore this shirt just for the video. Let's go back to the trains. Whoops. The layout map, in case anybody hasn't figured out our layout by now. Oh, let's do up the ramp. We got the railjet coming. I tend to just put it on that camera now and ignore everything else.
Yeah.
There's old railjet coming through. There's ICE-3 coming through.
Yeah, Andrew, he said he's gonna redo it.
Did I pick that up at...
What up at Walmart? The shirt?
Yeah, did I pick this up at Walmart? The Adamant... No, that was a Adamant concert. And this was buying all the Beatles CDs years and years and years ago. When you got a free t-shirt with them. So, yeah, these... No, these we bought because you bought the collector tins. I have 5 webcams, and then I have my camera phone. I have my computer camera. So, like, this is all my cams. This is all my cams that I currently have. I am looking to add more, but right now, finding a webcam is impossible. I would like to add more. But, so that's all 6 webcams. The one in the middle down below, that's my on my computer that all my other cameras are tied into. And then I use OBS, although all of a sudden I'm starting to have some glitchy problems. Now, a couple of people said they weren't having problems. When I stopped it, but I was watching the replay and it was lagging. We were getting lag and stop, and there's no point trying to watch the song if you're getting lag. So I'll load it up as a video later today, and hopefully, I've never asked for a real favor, but if I post a song up as a separate video, would you guys, like, even if you saw it in the live stream, would y'all go back in and either give it a thumbs up or leave a comment when I post them as separate? Or both. So, yeah, I mean, I've got all the toys, and I got a nice collection of trains, just my layout's boring. I've got just a couple of little areas of it done. I've even got the Fowler car system. I really could plug that in and run that right now. But I was going to get off in a little bit, because we got to run out to, speaking of Walmart, we got to run out to Walmart. But let's go back to the overhead here.
Skinny jeans.
Yeah, I've had to buy all new clothes. So like 3 weeks ago, I couldn't wear this t-shirt. This t-shirt has been sitting in a drawer unworn for years because I was too fat to wear it. And all of a sudden I can wear it now because of all the weight I've dropped. So this should be broadcasting in full high definition. See, that looks much better. Let me see. Okay, so Ewan is taking off. Oh, wait, no. I thought I saw somebody saying they were leaving. Okay, but Ewan. Hypno's Best is there. Hi, Hypno's. So, yeah, we are, no, I'm happy, okay? I just, you know, I don't like to compare to anybody, but you see people's layouts and they're building and they're adding to it. Jeff, you know, a lot of you have things built up on your layout. It's not boring. It's definitely for me. I think I have ADD. I didn't think I had it as a kid, but maybe I've developed it. But my goal was to build Delmenhorst and run lots of trains. I'm not worried about prototypical. You'll never see me weather a train. Sorry about that, kids. You'll never see me weather a train. Even my freight train is spiffy clean because I live in a happy world where juveniles don't vandalize things with spray cans, and workers are able to keep things clean from rusting out. So even my freight cars are all very, very clean. We live in a clean world here. I feel like Grandpa McCartney in Hard Day's Night. He's very clean, you know. But I'm clean. Hey, David Cook has taken off. Bye, David. Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, somebody had asked earlier about the video. Yeah, those the videos and those pictures are from many, many trips to Germany that Joyce and I took, either with our students. Because when I would take my students to Germany, Joyce would take pictures and I would videotape, and then we would give all the kids for free a pile of DVDs with everything we videotaped, and then all the pictures we would make a slideshow with music. And so when we decided to do the song Two of Us there, I actually already had kind of a video made for it, but it was of my students at the time. But it was just pictures of my students on their train, you know, on trains riding around. So the idea was still to do it. You know, you can talk too. Motorhead, Lemmy, yeah. AC/DC and Motorhead. We got the heavy metalist out right now. Okay, so somebody commented on something. One of the videos.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yeah, we're still excited. Somebody comments on one of our videos. We're excited. Ooh, somebody commented. Yay.
They like us. They really like us.
Sally Field, right, yeah. Thank you, Sally Field. Yeah, I agree, Jeff. I agree. When you go to a show and the layout and they're not run their trains, usually, or they have just one train running, it's like, guys, you got 3 loops, run it. Although having been in a train club for a brief period of time and hearing all the politics, I understand why they only run one train, because, man, they fight. Oh, my goodness. You've run your train too many times, or I'm not putting my train on there because the way you wired that over there. It's like, okay then. Oh, don't worry about it. No, that's great if you watched it. It's an hour-long video. Nobody's going to watch a video for an hour, but if you want to see what Miniature Wonderland's like when you're there, that video's a pretty good clue. You're going to bump into people and see things. But, oh, I love Miniature Wonderland. Joyce likes it too. What did you think of Miniature Wonderland, Joyce?
Very cool.
Very cool. Queen of the understatement. Joyce does not gloat effusively.
No, not really.
Not usually. There are some things you geek about,
Yeah, I do.
but very few. Yeah, you should have seen it at her wedding. Do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband? I do, I guess.
That is not true.
It isn't?
No.
No.
I was assertive.
You were assertive?
Yeah.
Do you take this man? Hell no!
He wouldn't be married if I said hell no.
No, actually, you were like, the priest is like, do you take this man? She's like, here in front of everybody? Oh, I'm sorry, we just lost PG-13 there. Well, we're each teacher's pets.
Right.
We're both teachers, so
Yeah. Truly, if you go there, it gets a little weird.
Although since we've already blown the rating, we may both be teachers.
Just stop.
No?
Just, no.
No?
Just stop.
No? We're both teachers, but do you even know where I'm going?
I just think anywhere you could go with that would be there.
We're both teachers, but she makes a hell of a schoolgirl. All right, kids, send your parents to bed now. Ewan says, what do we both teach? That's what we keep asking ourselves. Oh, what do you teach, not why? I teach German, high school German. I actually have a master's degree in English, but I teach German because I also have a degree in German. And Joyce teaches
5th grade.
5th graders, everything. Although this year you're just doing
Science and reading.
science and reading this year.
Online.
Online. Yeah, notice we're not getting any responses from all that. Although, what do? We went down to, how many people are here? 19 watching. We lost 6 people. We were up to 25 at one point. I don't know if I could say I have a favorite N-gauge layout. I mean, I've never seen any N-gauge layouts live. All the shows we go to, it's HO or even O or 1 scale, the layouts. I haven't seen an N scale layout at any, have we? I don't think we have. N scale, slightly smaller. But online, I love John Warner's Piccadilly, what is he? Piccadilly Junction? Piccadilly Circle? Something Piccadilly. He's always rebuilding things, of course, but oh man, when he's got stuff done on his layout, it's gorgeous for N scale. There's another guy, man, I don't know what happened to him. He was called N Trains, and he would build some really cool stuff in N scale, and he was in with New Junction, Richard Watson at New Junction, David Cottismore and all those guys, and he was going to all the shows and doing all the live streams with them, and he's just disappeared. I don't know what's happened, but he's disappeared. Was ist das? Ist das ein Fernseher an deiner Wand? Ja, das ist ein Fernseher auf den Wand. An dem Wand. Piccadilly Station, that's it. Leslie Gilpin's very cool Canadian-based layout is N-scale, I believe, and that's very cool too. When Tim was working on N-scale, his N-scale stuff was gorgeous. Tim Wells, FMR. Tim's stuff was fantastic. That guy, he's a wizard. He's an artist when it comes to scratch building his stuff. He was trying to do a Western American logging camp layout, and it was gorgeous. And then one thing led to another. Snowballs went downhill and turned into avalanches, and he moved away from that onto other things. But oh man, not to tell other people what to do, but I would have loved to have seen him stuck with that and see where he would have been with it by now, because it was gorgeous. The man's talented beyond belief. Yeah, Andrew, that's what I was seeing. The last thing he was working on was his The War of the Worlds, and that was awesome. But yeah, since that time, it's been over a year since he's posted anything. I think David Cottismore told me on Facebook that he's still doing trains, but yeah, he just doesn't do anything on YouTube. Because he was a cool guy to watch. And Paul at Galgorm Hall is a great channel to watch. Of course, everybody is. And he's been working on stuff for David, but he hasn't been putting out the videos like he normally does. But people going back to work, I think we just all got used to having too much time and everybody putting out videos. Kieran, same here. The very first model train channel I joined was Will at IC82. And I love Will. I think he's awesome. I'm sorry he's had a lot of rough patches in his life the last 3 years that have totally interfered with his running his channel. I don't want to get into his business. I mean, he talked about it on his. If you don't know what happened to Will at IC82, he talked about it, although I think he eventually took that video down. He and Craig were trying to adopt 2 children. And the adoption agency was putting them through the ringer and finding excuse after excuse to tell them no. Went through their house and said, well, you got to do this. So anybody remembers Will, he redid his house and fixed it, put things. And he was so excited. And finally he got told it looked like it was going to happen. They just needed one final review. And the one final review, this woman was looking at his record, and like 5 years before he started this process, somebody mugged Will outside his house. He was mugged outside his house. Stole his laptop from him because he had been at the library or something like that, if I remember the story. Mugged him outside of his house. That was 5 years before this, and the woman used that as an excuse to say, this neighborhood's unsafe, the house is unsafe, we can't let you adopt these kids. And that destroyed Will. That crushed him. Because I would talk to him just a little bit on Facebook, just a little bit. Not like we knew each other, just a little bit. But he went online and talked about this, and then he had 2 very close relatives to him die within the last year or so, and you know, that just takes it out of you. He thought he was going to have those kids and was all excited about it. And they did it because he's gay. They denied him kids because he's gay. They were looking for a reason, but deep down it's because they were a gay couple and they weren't going to let a gay couple have kids, even though he passed all the checks. Night, Growler. Take care. So that's me kind of preaching on there. I don't, again, it might borderline on politics, but that's what happened to Will and why he's just been, I think he's been basically the last 2.5 years trying to get his soul back, my opinion. But, so if you didn't know the story, that's what happened. And that's straight from Will. And like I said, the only reason I would talk about that in here is because Will had a couple of videos out where he talked about it. I don't know if he pulled them back after a while, but he did put them up there. So since he had put it out there, I don't feel guilty mentioning it because I'm very angered about it myself. I think he and Craig would have made wonderful parents. But, yeah. Okay, well, we probably should get going to the store anyhow, right?
Probably.
Yep, okay. All right, well, anyhow, guys, I don't want to end that on a negative note, but like I said, I love Will's channel. Sam was the second one I joined, and then New Junction was probably third or fourth, but I've told that story many times. Hey, it's gone 2 hours and 20 minutes all of a sudden. And Joyce and I actually have to go out to the shops. Yes, it's Saturday, and it's 5 o'clock here in America, but for us, it's out to the shops. And because our shops are open till 10. And I got to get a couple of more clothes, and I got to get some techno stuff, and we're going to have to go up to Walmart. I hate going to Walmart, but it is what it is. So what we're going to do is this special second round edition of Insider Outsider or Outsider Insider, piggybacking on yesterday. And we'll notice that for the last hour and 20 some minutes, Alex has not had any issues. He has run nicely. We had a lot of little shorts, but that's it. So anyhow, from Anthony and hang on a second, hang on. Do you, Anthony, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Do you, Joyce? Joyce! Joyce. Right. From Anthony and Joyce, we're going to say, hey, everybody, see you later. Auf Wiedersehen.
Choose.
And happy trains. See you later. Goodbye.